Hello, welcome back to the Fruit of Grisaia. That was so nice.
ご苦労様。さて、花火も終わったし、帰ろっか。私たちの学園に。そうね。そろそろ戻りましょうか。普段の私たちに。それはいいけど、帰りは私、浜根の隣はもう嫌よ。そんなに嫌わなくても傷つくな。帰りは上りだからちゃんとおとなしく運転するわよ。
Want me to ride with you?
いいね。そのまま2人でどっか行っちゃおうか。やめなさいって。ちょうどよくマキナが寝てるから、あんたはマキナ乗せて帰りなさい。なんだよもう、冗談じゃない。そんなにケンケン怒らんでも。スオさんの場合、冗談に聞こえないから困っちゃうのよね。学園長まで私をビッチ扱い
I was driven to this place by a vague impatience, the desire for something, but even now, I haven't pinned down exactly what I'm looking for. Not knowing what I want, it's impossible to find a clear path forward. But in that brief moment on the beach, as transitory as the glow of the sparklers in our hands, I forgot all about that. I forgot to be anxious, frustrated. I forgot that I'm stumbling in fog. And on the return trip, the cool wind quietly blowing through the lowered car window feels strangely refreshing. The soothing touch of the air on my sunburned face feels almost like a caress. For some reason that I can't express in words, it makes me feel that it's too early to give up hope. That was so nice. You really need moments like that in life, just to relax a little. This might sound odd coming from someone who's still pretty much a kid in mind as well as body, but it seems young people these days don't wear wristwatches. That's not to say they don't feel the need to check the time. They simply use their cell phones instead. Even the cheapest mobile phone has a digital clock built in, so I guess they don't see any reason to bother carrying around a separate tool for the specific purpose of telling time. Of course, like a good modern youngster, I myself constantly carry around a personal cell phone. The difference is that I almost never use mine. I don't really see the appeal of racking up a huge phone bill by firing off pointless texts or killing time with aimless gossip. To be honest, I tend to view phones in general as a means to receive calls rather than make them. Cell phones allow us to talk whenever we want, and that's an undeniable convenience. But on the other hand, they create the expectation that you'll answer the phone at any time. The way I look at it, that's all about as inconvenient as it gets. Oh, that's pretty true. From the inside of my school bag, currently hanging next to my desk, I hear the muffled sound of an unpleasant electronic jingle. The bag wiggles slightly as something vibrates inside. My cell phone's ringing. The only person who knows my cell phone number is JB. Judging from the way the phone stops ringing at once, this was probably an email. And as a rule, JB contacts me through actual calls. I don't think she sent me a single email to date. More spam? Odds are it's junk mail. Still, I can't just ignore it. There's a non-zero possibility that JB is using email to contact me under circumstances where talking would be impractical or dangerous. But when I open my bag and take a look inside, the LED alert is flashing on my private cell phone, not the one I use for work. I click my tongue lightly in annoyance, just to be on the safe side. I slide the phone open and take a look at the email. Subject, it's Kyoko. And who the heck is Kyoko supposed to be? The mail is from the Leisure Club, and as for its contents, it seems a bored and lonely housewife by the name of Kyoko, age 32, is willing to give me pocket money if I keep her company, the very model of a spam email. This sort of offer is about as credible as Hanoi Hannah's "throw away your gun, GI, and our benevolent Uncle Ho will give you a patty field and your very own water buffalo." I don't know what that is. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Best to remember that unless you want to get taken for a ride. Forget a free lunch. These days, no one's going to give you air if they can charge you for it. I'm slightly irritated at myself for even reading this worthless crap. The way this sort of trivial annoyance tends to pop up several times a day is one of the major reasons I don't particularly like cell phones.
Ah, ダメだよ、ユージ。学校にいる間は携帯はマナーモードにしておかないと、授業中に音が鳴ったら怒られるよ。
Yeah.
っていうか、あんた携帯なんか持ってたんだ。
Hey, now, I'm a modern youth in my own right, you know? Of course I've got a cell phone.
ねえ、そんじゃさ、アドレス交換しよっか。
Why?
いや、なぜってことはないでしょうが、携帯持ってんだからアドレス交換ぐらい普通じゃない。サラリーマンの名刺交換みたいなものよ。
Okay. If you want to do that, okay. A fact?
何してんのよさ。ユージの携帯とアドレス交換しようと思って。お兄ちゃん、携帯持ってたの？
Is it really that surprising?
なんかユージ
Whoa,
って
cell
さ、
phone.
おっさん臭いというか、じじむさいというか、こういう若者文化に疎そうな感じするよね。なんか機械に頼るのは軟弱だとか言いそうなのよさ。
Just what do you people think I am? Makina stares at the cell phone in my hand with eyes full of wonder. It's the expression of someone who's found a caveman holding a cheap cigarette lighter. Why am I getting the idea these people just might be calling me Cro-Magnon Kazami behind my back?
とりあえずさ、せっかくなんだし、番号とアドレス交換しようよ。ね。
I have no clue what's special about this occasion, but revealing my confusion now would probably only encourage their Cro-Magnon theory. This is a cell phone for my private use, so I suppose there's no reason I can't give out the number and email address. Alright, I'll read out the number. What was it again?
なに、自分の携帯の番号を覚えてないわけ？
It's not like you tend to call your own cell phone, right? What's so strange about not knowing it off the top of my head?
つーか、あんた友達とかいないの？
A certain quack doctor once said, it's better not to make friends with patients.
どうせみんなすぐ死んでしまうからだってか？
Okay, so how do I make this thing display my own number anyway?
別にわざわざ表示させなくても赤外線通信で送ればいいのに。
The heck is that?
だから赤外線を使って番号とかアドレスとかそういう個人データを他の携帯に転送できるのよさ。
How do I do that? Didn't even know it could do that.
貸して、私がやってあげよう。
Very well. I deposit my cell phone in Makina's outstretched hands.
おーい、携帯原始人のくせに4月に出たばっかの新機種なのよさ。生意気な。
Mind your own business. It's not like I picked the thing out. I've just been carrying around the 1 GB gave to me.
よっしゃ、送信準備 OK。 あまねえ、受信の準備して。
あれ？ねえマキナ、これどうやるんだっけ？いや、使ったことはあるんだけどさ。ど忘れ？
Looks like I'm not the only cell phone Neanderthal around here.
あまねえも携帯貸しなさい。私がやってあげるから。
ごめん。
Hey, Makina actually knows something useful. Makina takes the cell phone from on his hand, points the infrared port toward my phone, and transfers the data.
はい、OK。ありえ？
ん？どうかした？
番号とメアドしか転送されてないのよさ。もしかしてお兄ちゃん、携帯に自分の名前とかのプロフィール登録してないの？
Oh no, I don't remember messing around with any settings since I got the thing, so probably not.
もうこれじゃ着信しても番号しか表示されないから不便なのよさ。自分の名前ぐらい入力しておこうよ。
やーい、携帯原始人。
I don't think you're one to talk.
じゃあ私が入力しちゃっていい？
Guess I don't mind.
じゃあみゆじと誕生日と血液型は？
What? Why would you put stuff like that in
ま
there?
あ入力しておけば赤外線通信で送れるから名刺代わりになるのよ。あと顔写真とかも送れるけどどうする？
Not necessary. The name should be enough.
そう？わかった。じゃあ早速入力も終わったところで私の携帯にも送信。転送完了。私の携帯の番号もお兄ちゃんの携帯に転送しておくね。
Infrared data transfer, huh? The world's become a convenient place lately.
そういうこと言うから携帯原始人って言われるんだよ。ねえマキナ、私の番号もユージの携帯に送っておいて。
了解。オーケー。これでバッチリなのよ。
ということは通
次は私の番ですね。
And where did you come from? It seems Sashi was observing our conversation. She's tightly grasping her own cell phone.
幸いなことに、私も今時の小ギャルらしくこのように携帯電話を持っていますので、ぜひデータ交換をと思いまして。
Kogels? I really don't think one hears much about that subculture these days. Could my understanding of Kogel as referring to that 90s fashion with the loose socks and dark makeup be mistaken?
ダメでしょうか。
You too. To be honest, I don't really want to spread my email address around too much. A constant barrage of messages would be a serious nuisance, but...
あまねさんやまきちゃんには教えて、私には教えないというのはどうなんでしょう。ことによると、これは何かのいじめなのでしょうか。
no.
いじめ以外の目的で私にだけは教えたくないという理由があるのでしたら、はっきりと言ってください。個人の努力の範囲で直せるのであれば直します。
No, look.
目の色が気に入らないとおっしゃるのであれば、目をくり抜きましょう。肌の色が尺に触るのであれば、全身の皮を剥ぎましょう。さあ、おっしゃってください。私の何が至らないのかを。
Okay, you're seriously scaring me right now. I'll give you my number so just stop.
そんな、それではまるで私が無理やり聞き出したかのような。
Man, I really want Sachi to know my number and my email address. For that matter, I want to tell her so bad it's driving me mad. Please, Sachi, allow me to give them to you.
はい、ぜひ。もう、風見さんは本当にツンデレですね。わざと私をじらして楽しんでいたんですよね。そういうプレイがお好きなんですか？
What? Hey, Amane, tell me, can I flip out at this point?
なぜ私に聞く？
Well, whatever. Go ahead and shoot infrared rays around. I don't care.
飛ばすぞ。サチ、どこに飛ばしてほしい？できればお顔に。
Amane, tell me, can I hit these people?
なぜ私に聞く？
Just as my patience meter is falling into the red zone, there's a flash of vivid gold in the corner of my eye. Hey, hold it, bottle blonde.
何よ。
What are you doing? Don't tell me you want to know my number too.
何を言っているの？バカじゃないの？なんで私があんたみたいなやつの番号を知りたがるわけ？ありえないんだけど。
その割には手にしっかりと携帯握ってるよね。
いつの間にか近寄ってきてるし。しかもさりげに手にした携帯は受信待ち状態です。漏れ飛んできた赤外線を横から盗み取ろうとしてないですか？うるさいわね。勝手に人の携帯の画面盗み見てんじゃないわよ。
Says the girl is trying to steal someone's phone number without permission.
どうでもいいでしょうが。これはあれよ。
We
娘
got
を誘拐した
you.
時、あんたに身代金を要求するために番号を手に入れようとしていたのよ。
Whatever you say. I've met quite a few villains in my life, but this bold a kidnapper is a definite first. Sorry to disappoint, but I don't have a daughter.
ユージの番号が知りたいなら素直にそう言えばいいのに。
うるさいわよ。そんな男の番号知りたくもないわよ。いいからさっさと教えなさいよ。
どっちなのよ。
In the end, Michiru thrusts her cell phone toward me in a virtual panic, so I transfer over my number. Not really a problem, since I don't think she's likely to use it anyway. But at this point, the majority of the class has my contact information. The only one left would be... Hey there, Sakaki. I call out to Sakaki, who's currently sitting in the corner of the classroom and passively reading a book.
何かしら。
You've got a cell phone too, I assume? Here, record my number.
必要ないわ。
Alright, then give me yours.
どうして？それこそ必要ないでしょ。
Very necessary when I kidnap your daughter. I need to be able to get in touch so I can demand the ransom. Fork it over. Threatening people into giving you your phone
私に
number.
娘なんかいないわ。
Is there some reason you don't want to give me your contact information?
別にないわ。でも、あなたに番号を教える理由もないでしょ。
I want to know, does that not qualify? Sakaki closes her book with a resigned expression and gets up from her seat.
あまり気楽にメールをしないでいただけると助かるわ。
As she speaks, Sakaki takes out a cell phone from the pocket of her uniform and holds it out toward me indifferently. What, you're giving me your number after all?
知りたいんでしょ。言ったと思うけど、別に知られて困るような理由はないわ。さっさと済ませてくれる？
Yeah, sorry. Hey, you, I need my cell phone back.
何？
Give the darn phone back already. I need to register Sakaki's number.
榊さんの？本当に？
Yes, really. What's the big deal?
だって榊さん、私たちにも番号を教えてくれなかったのに、なんでユージにだけ？
Probably because she finds you annoying?
嘘、本当に榊さんがそう言ったの？私はそんなこと一言も。
Well, you do kind of seem like the type to send people completely worthless messages, Amane. You know, I'm on the toilet now, just doesn't want to come out. Oh, boo. With a crying emoticon at the end. In the middle of her sentence, Makina's sandals squeak loudly.
その話題に食いつくな。もう私そんなメールしないし。
こといえば皆さんこんなお話をご存知ですか？
Well, the way those sandals keep squeaking strikes me as a little unnatural, but nobody else seems to pay it any mind.
この話を広げようとするな。あんたたちね、いい年して大きな声でうんこ叫ぶんじゃないわよ。小学生じゃないんだから。
Wow.
だって叫んでんじゃない
I just wanted people's numbers.
ってんじゃないわよ。
Sorry, this is my fault. Everyone, please stop talking about Amane's poopy.
頭を下げるな。まるで私がお粗相しちゃったみたいな空気にするな。
Really though, maybe Makina needs a new pair. Those things are really noisy today.
まあ落ち着けよ。結局何の話だったのよさ。
だからなんだっけ、榊さんがユージに自分の携帯の番号を教えようとしてたから。由美子が自分から番号を教えるなんてどういう風の吹きだまり。
それを言うなら吹き回しです、みちる様。
知ってるわよ、わざとよ。あんたを試したのよ。
はいはい、試されちゃいましたね。
ムカつく。何よその顔。
でも確かに榊さんが自分から番号を教えるなんて珍しいですよね。私が聞いた時には教えてくれませんでしたし。
それは別にただプライベートなことだから。
でも風見さんには教えたんですよね。
そのことに別に深い意味は。
As Sakaki stumbles over her words, Makina sidles up to her, then slaps a hand down on her shoulder with a light thump. Yay! Giving each other phone numbers.
まあ無理もないのよさ。お兄ちゃんかっこいいもんな。
私、あなたのそういうところが苦手だわ。
そうじゃあとりあえずせっかくだしユミちゃんの番号もみんなで登録しておこっか。
うん、そうね、せっかくだしね。まあ別に興味ないけど減るもんじゃないしね。
ですね。
あ、ちょっと私の携帯。
Sakaki reaches out desperately, but it's already too late. Her British classmates have abducted her phone and proceed to take turns bombarding it with their infrared rays. You give us your phone number now! Why are you glaring at me?
どうしてくれるの？
What do you want from me? We're the playthings of the moment. No point in trying to resist. Give it up.
変な気まぐれを起こした私がバカだったわ。
Stupid. Don't be mad. For the record, I meant what I said. I really did want to know your number.
そういう言い方はずるいわ。
Show me a man who plays fair, and I'll show you a very talented cheater.
お待たせ。登録し終わったから黒くて色気のない携帯返してあげる。
色気がなくて悪かったわね。いいから早く返して。
はいはい、ごめんよ。ちなみにその携帯私たちの番号とメアドも登録しておいたからいつでもメールしてね。
勝手なことを。
あ、 ちょっと
Sakaki grabs her phone from Amane's hand, quickly turns her back to us, and stalks off to her seat.
さすがにちょっと強引だったかな
Being a little pushy every once in a while isn't a bad thing. I don't think Sakaki's as angry as she's letting on, to be honest.
だといいんだけど、まあそのうちメールでも送ってみますか
You do that.
ユージもいつでも私にメールして
Yeah, if the mood strikes me. Amani hands over my cell phone. The contact section, previously completely empty, now contains all of my classmates' numbers and email addresses. After all that fuss, I've got the complete set, but I wonder if I'll ever actually have the chance to send an email to one of them. In the first place, I've never really messaged people before. Of course, I've communicated using email programs on a PC, but up until now, I've never bothered to send one from my cell phone. Since you're using a keypad instead of a full-size keyboard, it's a time-consuming nuisance to enter the right characters, and more importantly, I've just never had any reason to do so. Until now, I guess. And so, I sink a little deeper into the morass of the modern world. As I mumble to myself, cell phone still in hand, a fuzzy-headed little creature pops up before my eyes.
お兄ちゃんは人気者なのね。
What are you talking about?
みんながお兄ちゃんの携帯の番号を知りたがるのよさ。
Yeah, but their real goal was clearly to amuse themselves at my expense.
ユミちゃんも
In her case, I was the one looking to amuse myself.
あんまりユミちゃんをいじめると爆発しちゃうのよ。
Oh, that sounds interesting. If she's got enough power, I might be able to sell her to NATO as an anti-personnel weapon. What kind of an explosive yield are we talking about here? Why do you think about these things?
ツングースカ級なのよさ。
You belong here, Yuuji. This is getting better by the second. She'll replace the tactical nuke as the endgame weapon of choice. Heck, just let people know that you've got a Sakaki, and foreign nations will watch their step.
そうだね。
What's the matter? You seem a little down. Feeling tired after that ruckus?
平気。なんでもないのよ。
Hey, Makina? What was that about? Makina was acting somewhat strange, and even at the time, I had the general idea it had something to do with me. Her expression was almost like that of a young girl, the older sister watching in pouty irritation as her father was monopolized by the youngest child. As if she wanted to draw my attention, but couldn't figure out how. I had an older sister myself, and remember pulling something similar with my mother once or twice, so I sort of understand that type of jealousy. But in Makina's case, I wasn't convinced that was the heart of the matter. At this point, I didn't have any answers, just an open question. Don't tell me she was sulking for a childish reason like that. But several days later, that suspicion would be proven correct in a completely unexpected way. Having finished up an after-school trip to the supermarket by the station, where I picked up 3 days' worth of food, I'm briskly making my way back to the dorm. The contents of the plastic supermarket bag dangling from my hand. 6 cans of vegetables and beans, a head of lettuce, a box of corn cereal, a carton of milk, and a bottle of oolong tea. If Amane happened to see this assortment of groceries, she'd probably get on my case about my tragically bland diet. Not that I can really argue with that description. The thing is, though, my appetite is borderline defective. I almost never get the urge to eat anything in particular. Since I don't have much in the way of preferences, my simplistic food choices are only natural. It's not really something I can change about myself. There were stretches of my life where my diet consisted entirely of hard-boiled bread so crusty I had to soak it in water before I could sink my teeth into it. Compared to that, anything seems delicious. My private cell phone begins to buzz in the pocket of my uniform, emitting that familiar electronic jingle. It's just as unpleasant now as it was the first time I heard it. More spam was my first thought. But after my classmates teased my email address a few days ago, I've been getting messages from them relatively frequently. The most frequent sender would be Amane. Her messages are most often, "Where are you, ATM?" with type inquiries about my situation. Followed by, "What do you want to eat tonight?" style survey questions about the dinner menu, which tend to leave me racking my brains for an answer. And finally, limited time sale, 4 p.m. today. Buy a pack of large eggs from Shoei, and other requests to run errands for her. Mixed in with Amane's frequent messages, I've also gotten mail from Sachi. Things like, "I have discovered a beehive hanging under the roof of the PE warehouse. I'm sending this message in the hope you might be able to assist in the extermination." That one's a pretty typical example. They tend to be polite invitations to join in unified peacekeeping operations around the school. Well, since those messages at least approach meaningful communication, they're comparatively not too bad. After all, there was that one email from Michiru that arrived in the middle of the night. What? What is this? After opening that particular message, I stared at the screen blankly for a good 3 seconds before finally cocking my head to the side in a gesture of complete confusion. What was she emailing you about? The mail's contents. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. A simple litany of angry words. And although I tried to remember whether I'd done anything to offend Michiru lately, no satisfactory explanation presented itself. Which isn't to say nothing came to mind, of course. If anything, so many things occurred to me that it was hard to pin down any one particular incident that might have inspired her wrath, but when I met Michiru the next morning and brought it up, apparently, while in bed that night, some stupid little mistake she made a long time ago popped into her head. Unable to sleep from irritation, she'd taken it out on me via email. And the mistake in question, back in elementary school science class, the teacher had asked everyone to name any fish they could think of. So Michiru raised her hand energetically and shouted out sushi, earning the ridicule of her classmates. In other words, pretty much the most idiotic thing in the world to be losing sleep over years after the fact. Imagine, if you can, the exasperation and exhaustion I felt. Poor Yuuji, he has to deal with all this. Anyway, among all these messages, the only one to make me laugh was sent by Sakaki. I had assumed I wouldn't get a single email from her in the first place. So it was a bit of a surprise just to receive that message, but the real issue was its contents. To be specific, the message contained all 4 letters. Test. Of course, one could interpret this as the condensed form of a more expressive message.
明日は原告のテストだね。ユージはちゃんと勉強してる？私はダメだ。なんか急に気になって部屋の掃除始めちゃったよ。そしたら中学時代の卒業アルバムが出てきたよ。中学生の私、超可愛いよ。まさに鬼ラブリー。今度見せてあげるね。バイユミコ。
Test. But somehow, I think not. Probably, no, pretty much definitely. She sent it solely for the purpose of confirming that the mail would be delivered properly. That sort of methodical caution for its own sake seemed very much like Sakaki. I sent a concise "received" in reply to her message, and haven't received another from her since. Well then, who's it from this time? I opened the email folder on my phone with a feeling of mild embarrassment, but the title of the message is an instant letdown. Will you be my papa? From the title alone, it's pretty clearly spam. I have no idea where they get my email address, since I've never given it out to anyone but my classmates. But this sort of garbage arrives at a pretty decent clip. I work for a company in the business of information, and we've got a pretty nice database. But sometimes I think a bunch of people trying to sell me phony Viagra just might have the superior intelligence network. While reflecting on the spammer's frightening abilities, I pressed the delete button, but at that moment my eyes jumped to the name of the sender, and I paused in utter confusion. From Ears to Makina. Makina? I canceled the deletion command, opened the bizarrely titled email, and quickly looked over the contents. Hello, this is Makina. Oni-chan, allow me to express my sincere congratulations on your continuing good health. In conclusion, this constitutes a formal announcement that you have officially leveled up from Oni-chan to Papa. Thank you very much for my consideration. Yours truly. It's complete gibberish. The writing is all over the place. There are all sorts of strange typos, and not a single word is capitalized. Also, I have no idea what any of it is supposed to mean. Level up? Papa, what is this girl talking about? Well, I wasn't expecting any message from her to be particularly well composed, but this is just too incoherent. Judging from this, I think it would take quite some time to unravel the mystery if we communicate through email. I type out a quick reply. I don't understand. Let's talk face to face. Okay, send. Awkwardly tapping out a few short words, I send back my response. Makina's reply arrives in less than a minute. Oh, why German? Does she want to meet in Valhalla or what? Anyway, it's pretty obvious that finding the girl and talking face to face is the only way this will get cleared up. Of course, even then, we're dealing with Makina here. Smooth mutual understanding may be too much to hope for. But at the very least, communication in person has none of the lag time of a text message, and unlike a phone call, you can give the other party a good smack when necessary. I hurry back toward the dormitory and my conference with Makina. What is happening? 15 minutes later, I pass through the school gate on my way back to the dorm. As I'm cutting through the courtyard, I observe a bizarre object a little ways off. The rounded, soft-looking object in question lies slack on the brick-paved ground. To be more specific, it appears to be the corpse of a little girl. Or, if you prefer more idyllic phrasing, a young woman seems to have fainted. This can't be happening. I let the plastic bag fall from my hand on the spot and rush to the girl's side. With every stride, her outline grows clearer until at last the figure of the collapsed individual comes into sharp definition. Unruly curly hair that sticks out in every direction, a face as round as a dumpling, and a trademark touch of stupidity, knee-high socks of 2 different colors. In every particular, it's Irisu Makina. Hey, Makina, what's wrong? Makina stretched out limply on the ground like a marionette cut from its strings. When I lift her up by the shoulders, her mouth flops open to reveal a white stick. What is this? The thin white stick emerging from her mouth is queerly man-made, and it seems to be protruding from the depths of her throat. Oh, no. Is she choking? At a glance, it looks like the stick from a lollipop, but that can't be right, can it? Wavering between belief and doubt, I thrust my fingers inside Makina's mouth and pinched the white stick in question. I give it a hard yank, but whatever it is, it's lodged in there pretty firmly. So is it a lollipop or a straw? Darn it. Working against my brute force attempt, the stick is not only short and difficult to grasp, but also slippery with Makina's saliva. It looks like it should pop right out, but doesn't budge. I'm reminded of the legendary sword in the stone. Little punk, is this a trial? Pull me out if you can, and you'll be recognized as the hero of legend. I again grabbed the white stick with my fingers, then gave Makina's back a harsh thump, as if encouraging a baby to spit out something inedible. As Makina lets out a violent cough like a consumptive heroine from a Victorian-era novel, I pulled a lollipop, mandarin orange flavor, free from her throat with a wet pop. Ah, what are you doing, Makina? Choking on a lollipop. You gotta be more careful. Okay, how the heck did this happen? You choked on a lollipop.
なんか急に眠くなっちゃったのよさ。
Don't fall asleep with a stick hanging out of your mouth. It's obviously dangerous. I mean, how old are you again?
いやはや面目ないのよさ。
I mean, if I hadn't happened to pass by here, might she have ended up suffocating to death?
くう
As if deliberately demonstrating her complete indifference to my concerns, Makina casually offers me the same lollipop that I pulled out of her throat mere moments ago. No!
じゃあ私が食う。
Cut it out. You do realize you almost suffocated on that lump of sugar just now, right? Don't eat lollipops when you're moving around. They can kill you if you fall.
お
Don't just sit on the ground. Eat the darn thing later.
もういちいち細かいのよさ。甘ねえみたい。
Don't put half-eaten candy in your darn skirt pocket. You're going to turn it into a sticky mess.
むっちゃ怒ってるよ。面白い。
What's so funny, Punk? I might be noticing this a little late in the game, but is this girl mocking me? Calm yourself, Yuuji. This is the way she is, right? Don't let her get to you. I press a hand to my forehead, heave a long, heavy sigh, and firmly rub my temples. And you planning to explain what that email was about?
おメール
Don't play dumb. I'm talking about this. I take my cell phone from my pocket, slide open the screen, and hold it out so Makina can see. It's displaying that incoherent message she sent me just a few minutes ago.
おーおーほーそれな。それはあれよ。読んだままよ。文字通りの意味なのよさ。
And I'm telling you, I don't understand what it means. That's why I'm talking to you about it.
お兄ちゃんはあれなのかな。日本語が不自由な人なの？
You really shouldn't talk. Anyway, just tell me what you're trying to say here as thoroughly, concisely, and bluntly as possible.
私のパパになってください。
Papa? Yeah, that was definitely the title of the email as well, but no, wait, what does she even mean by that? Tell me something, Makina. When you say Papa, do you mean Papa, or...
そうマキナのパパになってください。
What the heck? Are you seriously asking me to become your father? Does this girl have a dad? Are you talking about more of a sugar daddy type deal? You're looking for money to play around with and you think I'm going to give it to you?
そうじゃないのよ。お金はいらないのよさ。むしろ私のパパになってくれるならお金あげるのよ。
The heck? I'll give you money, so please be my papa? What the heck is that? Every step I take in this bizarre conversation seems to be taking me farther and farther away from understanding the situation. Okay, hold on. Think this over calmly, Yuuji. There's still a possibility I'm making some ridiculous mistake here. Before blaming others, carefully consider the possibility that you're the one who screwed up. I had that one beaten into me enough, right? Can't go forgetting it now. Okay, Makina, let's calm down and talk this over, alright? Why do you want a papa exactly?
私ね、パパがいないのよ。
No? Why not?
死んじゃったから。
Aw, I see. Sorry to hear that.
でね、結構前から企んでたんだけど、死んじゃったパパの代わりになるパパが欲しいなってずっと思ってたのよさ。でもね、なんかこういまいちピンとこないっていうか、なんか違うなって人ばっかでね、いろいろ探してはみたんだけど、私のパパになってくれそうな人って全然いなかったのね。そしたらね、なんと好都合なことに向こうから来たのよさ。
You're talking about me.
分かってんじゃん。冴えてるな。
For the record, I'm mildly annoyed right now, but whatever. Go on.
でもね、すぐにパパになってくださいって言ったら変な子だって思われちゃうじゃない。それにすぐに飛びついて失敗だったら嫌だなって思ってたし、私もそんなに赤坂な女じゃないのよ。
Okay, I think you meant to say shallow there.
アロマのカリス。
It's Anomoakaris. No, never mind. Let's leave your pronunciation issues aside for the moment. Keep going.
だからとりあえずお兄ちゃんってことで様子を見させてもらって、この人で間違いないって思ったらパパになってもらおうと思ったわけなのよ。
That's the level up.
いかにも。
A long, heavy sigh spills from my mouth. She's trying to buy herself a father. I absentmindedly massage the area between my eyebrows. I've developed a headache all of a sudden. This is a little sad, actually. Family isn't something you can buy with money. Doesn't everyone understand that? Then again, there are people out there who think they can erase their families with money. So I guess it's not surprising the opposite delusion exists as well. But more importantly, what in the world am I going to do about this one? Look, Makina, you seem to be working off a mistaken premise here. Let me clear it up for you, okay? A father isn't something you can replace with money. Spare me hasn't anyone ever told you something like this before? So if her father is dead, how about her mother?
父親を早くに亡くしたもので、
Oh.
そのあたりの機微には疎いところがあるという自覚はあるのだけれども。
What about your mother? She didn't explain any of this to you.
お母さんは私のこと嫌いだからね。
And your mom hates you. I see. I guess that makes sense then.
で、どうなの？私のパパになってくれるの？
Your papa, though. When you say papa, what exactly are you expecting me to do?
別に今まで通りでいいのよさ。私のことを守ってくれて、私のことを大切にしてくれて、私のことを愛してくれればそれでいいの。
Did I ever protect you from harm or take good care of you, for that matter? And apparently I loved you on top of it all. News to me. If anything, I feel like I've treated her pretty roughly at times.
家族愛って一番強い愛情なんでしょ？
Hard for me to say. I don't have a family, so I can't really comment.
じゃあ一緒に家族について勉強していこうよ。私が娘になってあげるのよさ。
So Yuuji doesn't have a family, too. Figure it out. They do say life is one long learning process, but in the first place, am I really qualified to play this game? Can an irresponsible man like me call himself someone's father? Does a piece of trash like me have any right to?
不安？
It's a brief sentence, and her tone of voice is casual, but all of a sudden, it feels like my heart is being squeezed tight in my chest. Uneasy? Yes, that's probably a good word for what I'm feeling right now. It's a bit of an understatement. Do I have the strength to keep this girl safe?
大丈夫。お金ならあるのよ。ほら。
Makina reaches into her skirt and pulls out a number of crumpled, bent 10,000 yen bills, along with some smaller change. When I count, it comes out to 86,000. For a kid's pocket money, this strikes me as somewhat excessive.
足りなければカードもあるし。
The next thing to emerge from her skirt pocket is a gold card issued by a major credit company. Compared to the premium or unlimited black cards, I suppose it's something of a toy, but definitely not the sort you'd expect a kid to be carrying around. Hey, Makina.
今はそれしかないけど、お母さんかおばあさまに言えばもっともっとお金出してくれるのよ。だから平気なのよ。
I don't think her mom actually doesn't like her. The golden plastic card quivers in her hand. What if he says no? In that slight, uncontrollable trembling, Makina's terror of rejection is all too clear. I think I understand now why she's trying to buy my affection. She simply doesn't know any other way to get what she wants. This is probably how she was raised. When she went to her mother to talk about her troubles, she got a wad of money. This should take care of it, so that was how she learned to solve her problems. And she never had anyone to teach her that was wrong. What can I do for a girl like this? What can the likes of me possibly do for Makina? Ah, there's a choice for this. I'm gonna end it right there. I'll see where this choice goes to next time. Bye!